Welcome to the struggle. We got chocolate cakes. We got everything you need to make your body shake. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Gen X Army Vet here with a video from YouTube. As you read in the title and you can see in the thumbnail, apparently fat is a privilege now, or there's privileges to being fat. So yeah, there's a video that's on the show called Counterpoint. It's a YouTube channel, kind of like Jubilee, where people come together and talk. So the actual title of the video is called "Is Being Overweight a Choice? Gym Goers versus Body Acceptance." So yeah, there's levels to this shit. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Shit happens.
I know for me, the word fat is not offensive unless it's directed as a slur. For me, I know a lot of fat folks in my sphere like to reclaim the word fat.
Reclaim the word fat. So it's the same thing as like black people reclaiming the N word, make it a term of endearment. Is that where we're going with this? By the way, this is the typical Seattleite liberal female. There's this look, then there's the other side, the extreme slim, extreme super in shape, pro feminist. You see them all the time, especially at these No Kings rallies.
Instead of using words like morbid or obese, they prefer the word fat, and I prefer the word fat because it describes what I am, not a category that doctors are putting me in to describe how sick I am. I know that there's a new movement going around in like the body.
But the thing is, though, doctors say that for a reason because you're fat. It means you got, if you're, I guess, a certain size fat, it's fat and it is morbidly obese, right? So fat, okay, lose the weight. They could tell by the way you look. Versus morbidly obese, those are the ones that they can't get out of bed. They can't wash themselves. They got the soldier shell over their body with the real foul smells. The ones that are on 600-pound life. So that's why they categorize that. They're expecting the doctors to have empathy towards, the situation where they're just trying to stress to you the importance of, yo, you're fat, lose the fucking weight or you're gonna die. That we're not here well, doctors aren't there to hold your hand and, say, okay, it's okay that you're fat, it's okay. No, that's not their job. Their job is to try to get you better. You want somebody to make excuses for yourself. Okay, here we go. Before I even get into that, I understand that there are people with medical issues, thyroid, the stress eaters, the people that are trauma, that are, psychological issues. Okay, that can get worked on. But at the same time, too, though, if you don't eat, you don't gain weight. That's just a cause and effect.
Body acceptance sphere that is called categories, and what it describes is the different levels of privilege you have based on how fat you are.
The privilege.
And so there's things like small fat, mid fat, super fat, and death fat.
Just fat.
And death fat was coined in 2008 to describe folks that are so overweight that they're at risk of dying. And so this is a way that we're reclaiming a word such as the word queer, how queer used to be used, very derogatory as a slur for LGBTQ folks, but now we're saying and identifying as queer to reclaim that word. So that's how I feel about if it's offensive or not.
Black folks.
I have a question. Can you tell me what category of fat I fit in?
So it's based on your shirt size.
Oh.
So if you are a 1 or 2X, you are small fat.
Yes! I'm small fat. Also, by the way, you should tell I shaved this a couple days ago, so I'm working on, slimming down. You guys normally see me in other videos. I got Starbucks. Now it's water. So I'm going to be healthier. I'm 47, be 48 in May. The plan is to get down to 180-ish, 170, 180-ish by that time. So we'll see.
3 to 4X, you are mid-fat. 5 to 6X, you are super fat. So
it's just fat. It's like morbidly obese. So like if you're 30 pounds or higher, you're considered obese. If it's like 70 pounds or something like that and higher, also BMI, you're morbidly, you're deathbed fat. So why are we trying to, church it up and make it pretty just because somebody feel their feelings? You know, like I said, granted, we always got to preface this by saying we know that there's people who are going through medical issues. Got it. Because of people coming to comments. I made a video previously, a couple videos about something like this. And, you know, people out there, they get triggered, they get in their feelings. If it applies, that means maybe you should make a change. Like, I'm taking this, I know I need to make a change. I'm retired. I don't do shit like I used to. I'm not as active as I used to. I'm getting into that again. So make the change. Recognize where you're failing and make that change.
That base is based on what level of privilege you have in the world. So someone in a small fat category may not struggle getting on an airplane, but someone in a mid fat or super fat may not be able to use even the airplane extender. So that's where that comes in, and like the privilege levels of like what fat means to different people.
It's just weird because you keep saying privilege though, but if you look at it this way, because of your privilege, you're fat. Meaning you have access to all these different types of foods. You have access to, you know, we have access to gyms and all this other stuff if you choose to. Like, you don't have to even go to the gym. Like right now, I can get out and go walk around Seattle City Center. I can walk up the hill. I can walk wherever. I can walk down to the water. I can walk anywhere. I can run. We have a gym literally like 4 floors below me. We got this big ass gym. You know, I have access. That's privilege. You know, also I have the privilege to walk to my refrigerator and eat some bullshit food. I don't think I got any more. I threw it all away last night. But eat food. You know, I have the privilege to walk to, you know, the Starbucks, you know, the B-dubs, all this other stuff within our area. But I choose not to. That's privilege. It takes money and privilege to be fat. Those that are poor or they're very manageable with their money, they're going to be more slim, the more disciplined folks. So I guess you could be privileged on both sides. I don't know. But I would imagine being privileged means you can't be fat because you have all this excess.
You think something interesting, like you said, privilege, right? Like, so if somebody is less fat, then them being able to get onto an airplane is a privilege, or
like back in the day, think about it, when like the old medieval times, they say like the kings are, how are they always fat? Because they have privilege. You have access to, you know, you have money, so you have access to everything. And the peasants, they were the ones who were slimmer, skinnier, because they didn't have any money to be able to therefore buy food to make themselves fat. So again, like I say, that's why I say being fat is because of your privilege.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you guys think of that?
You know, a lot of things in life are privileges, and you know, being overweight. In my opinion, I think that's something you can control yourself. So if you feel like you're deprived of this privilege, you can change yourself to enjoy that privilege.
At Death Fat, are people, is this like what I see on shows, like where people can't walk or things like that?
Typically, it's over a 6X.
Okay.
So it's where people maybe couldn't walk, couldn't get out of bed, couldn't take care of themselves. And so that's where you lose that privilege of being able to care for yourself. And that's why you're in the category of death fat, because you are at risk of dying because of your weight.
You lose that privilege. It's not a, what? It's, I don't, she's using it in a weird way. It's not privilege. It's you use your accessibility to be able to care for yourself because you let yourself get so big to a point where you can't even move, or, you know, like even on this show, you see some of these people, they go there, they call him, they get to go do their interviews, they get on program, but then you can see them down not wanting to finish it. They complain about everything. They won't, because he won't let them have food. He won't let them do certain things. And he's talking shit to them, but they don't want to listen. Then some of these people, they'll die, or they actually go on through with the program and then they lose the weight. It's all about, you know, how bad do you want it?
I feel like when you see the show, like with people that are quote unquote death fat, do you have any knowledge on how people end up at death fat? Like, is it usually a health thing, or is it, because I feel like I haven't really seen very many people in my life that are at that. You know, it's just sensationalized. Like, could it be related to trauma, something like that?
Absolutely. I think that For me, I can only speak from my own experience, but the
Okay, then some people, I forgot it was like news, I think like somewhere on CNN where dude was saying, it was a black dude that was saying, "Yo, we got heart health issues because of slavery. You know, black people have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. We have strokes. We have diabetes because of slavery. We always want to try to something that completely not true. Slavery ended like 200 something years, 300 whatever years ago, like 150 years ago, somewhere. It's around there. It's been ended. There has been no slavery during this century. So we can't keep always going back to that as a crutch. You know, some people they say they're trauma or abandonment issues. I get there's trauma out there. Again, like same thing with the medical issues, psychological issues, but that means you have nobody in your corner talking to you, telling you, "Hey, you shouldn't pick up that fifth Twinkie or 14th hamburger," or some shit like that. So we need to start having discussions, the hard discussion with people, to prevent certain things.
reason why I'm fat is related to trauma, related to medical issues, it's related to mental health struggles, it's related to access. It's related to a lot of different things and could put me in the category of one day being death fat, but I'm trying my best to like become a better person and like have a better mentality and stuff like that. So yeah, I think anyone in one day could end up death fat. It's just these experiences you go through and what type of toll that takes on you.
Part of you has to wonder if we're trying to create the society from WALL-E at times with how easy we make it for people to access things though. Like that's, you know, you say you don't see people that are death fat. Well, that's because now we have DoorDash and Uber Eats and every other service under the sun.
Okay, so to his point, you say we have all these other things, so you don't see someone who's death fat. That means that person that's locked in their place, that's a complete recluse. That means nobody comes by and checks on them. Okay, again, okay, there are some people who have nobody in their lives. We got it. That means, but still, somebody who has nobody to check on, that means that, but how are you living in this place, making money to be able to afford that place, you know, having all this food, because you got to have other basic needs. So no one coming to check on you whatsoever. So that's how you eat yourself into the size of a bed, because you have nobody come and talk to you. You got to be able to make money somehow, whether it's on the phone, you have to do face to face. There's got to be some type of human contact somewhere along those lines. You, like you said, the wild thing where we just ate ourselves to the point where, you know, because we got DoorDash and Uber Eats and Instacart and all that other stuff, where someone could just come drop the food off and that's it. Come on, there's got to be something going on. There's got to be some type of human connection, some type of interaction somewhere along those lines where they can say, yo, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. But yeah, again, this show is called Counterpoint, and the actual theme of the show is called Is Being Overweight a Choice? Gym goers versus body acceptance, because this actual video is 1 hour and 3 minutes long. I just want to do this snippet because this what caught my eye or caught my attention last night when I saw it pop up. I just thumbed through it and I heard what some of the things that she was saying and some of the comments. That's what made me want to actually do this part of the video. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, your comments about it. You know, is she right as far as there's levels to it, or are we making excuses? You know, keep in mind, because I know you're going to come in the comments regardless, but yes, psychological, medical, we got that. We understand. But still, with that, you still have to eat. So if you're limiting your food, although you have those medical conditions, you still won't get big. So yeah, that's my take. But anyway, again, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Let's get this conversation started. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you next video. Peace.